If I traded it all, if I gave it.
Welcome back, everyone. My next guest has been on my show once before. I have with me Adam Bergman, and he is the owner of IRA Financial Group. You're also the owner of IRA Financial Trust. You know, welcome back to the show. You're an expert in your field. You've written several books, 7 of them. I know today we're going to do one of them as a giveaway. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to talk about today.
Well, again, thanks, Carol, for having me on again. Really excited to be on. Had a great time the first time, so again, thank you. So I am a former tax attorney. I can tell you that I really love doing this, what I do right now, which is helping people take control over their retirement funds through a self-directed IRA or self-directed 401k. I enjoyed that a lot more than practicing law. I was a tax lawyer in New York City for 9 years. I have a master in taxation from NYU. And now I've owned a trust company called IRA Financial Trust, and we administer self-directed IRAs, self-directed 401ks, and we help people take control over their retirement funds.
Well, today you said you wanted to talk about some different things. I know you've written a book. This is your latest book, and what's the name of the book again?
It's how to use retirement money to purchase cryptocurrencies. In a nutshell.
And today we're going to give that to everybody. Everyone's going to get it. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You can check him out on his website. It's irafinancialgroup.com. Today you said you kind of wanted to talk a little bit about investment trends.
Right. And I just want to preface all that I am a former tax attorney. I'm not an investment advisor, so I'm not telling anyone what to do with their money. All I want to talk about and come on the show is kind of give your listeners a feel for what's kind of popular in the alternative asset investment world. What are people doing with their retirement funds? So before I do that, I just wanted to spend a couple minutes and let people know that, believe it or not, the IRS allows you to do a lot more than just stocks and mutual funds with your IRA. In fact, there's only 3 things you can't do. That's it. And it's found in sections 408M and 4975 of the Internal Revenue Code. And the 3 things are life insurance, collectibles, and what's called self-dealing transactions, which are basically any transaction that directly or indirectly personally benefits me, the IRA owner, or any of my lineal descendants, my parents, my children, my spouse, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, or any entities associated with such persons. So you can't buy a house and live in it with your IRA. You can't take your IRA and buy your wife a diamond ring. You can't take your IRA and buy yourself a Porsche. Other than that, you can pretty much do it. So I wanted to come on the show and talk about trends. So I wanted to talk about the 3 most popular investments that people are doing in 2018.
And so, what are they?
So let's start with cryptocurrency, because that's obviously a hot topic, and that's the book I'm giving away. Cryptos are still hot. We'll see where Bitcoin or Ethereum, Litecoin, all this goes. Obviously, there's been more regulation in the marketplace with SEC, CFTC, Commodity Exchange in terms of regulation, but it's still a very popular asset. People want to be able to invest in what they feel is a future technology, digital currency. So for your listeners who may not know what cryptocurrency is, it's basically a investment in digital currency.
It's very up-and-coming word right now.
It is. It's
very
a hot buzzword.
topic.
Absolutely. It's a hot buzzword, and people want to buy it in the retirement account for one main reason, taxation. So we know that when you buy Bitcoins or cryptocurrency with your personal money, the IRS, under Notice 2014-21, treats it as property, like you're buying stocks or real estate. So guess what? There's tax. When you buy it and you make money, if it's less than 12 months that you held the asset, you pay short-term capital gains, which is taxed as ordinary income. If you hold it longer than 12 months, you pay tax, and that's called long-term capital gains, which is generally about 15%. So there's tax. So what people feel is, hey, if I believe in this technology and I think I'm going to do really well by owning Bitcoin, might as well own it in an IRA or a Roth IRA, which is an after-tax account, which generate tax-free growth, meaning if you open that Roth IRA, hold it for 5 years, and don't take any of the money out until you're 59 and a half. So 5 years and 59 and a half, you never pay tax again, ever, on that money. So if you bought Bitcoin at $10,000 with a Roth IRA and you sell it at $50,000, all that gain is tax-free forever. Never pay tax ever again.
Now, you've written this book, and I know you can get it at Amazon.com, and you can also you get it here. All you have to do is call us here, and you're going to get the book. Everyone's going to get it. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. He's been doing this for over 9 years, and he's an expert in this field. So get the book, learn a little bit about it, and again, you wrote the book because you wanted to educate people on this. Is that correct?
That's 100%
It's
correct.
all about, that's what you seem to be all about. You were here the last time, and you said, Carol, that's all I want to do is educate people. Correct?
Absolutely. I mean, I've been blessed. We have over 12,000 clients. We're extremely successful. I think because we want to educate our clients. If you go to our website, we have over 1,800 blogs. I've written over 150 articles for Forbes. I've done 145 podcasts. This is what we do. There's no cost. You can go on our website. Anyone can check it out, IRAFinancialGroup.com, IRA Financial Trust. You can check our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We want to educate people because you know what? When we educate people and they're well aware of their options, they're better investors. And if they decide to do alternative asset investments with their retirement account, well, hopefully they'll use us. But we want to give people options. It's all about education and giving people control over their own retirement money.
Now, our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll-free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's getting the book, so you could call in and get it. They do free consultations, so you can call them as well. Their number toll-free, it is 800-472-0646, or call in here, get the book, and we'll get you connected with them. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Before we go to a break, I want to still kind of talk a little bit about, these currencies that people are so excited about. What is the myths about them that you might want to tell them?
Well, people are excited not just about the use of these digital assets, because basically they're ones and zeros, right? It's not something tangible like a dollar bill. These are digital currencies. People are excited about the technology behind it, which is called blockchain. And blockchain is very exciting because it's a really exciting way to account for things, whether it's title insurance, whether it's keeping track of diamonds, whether it's keeping track of really anything from inventory to almost anything. It's a very secure way of knowing exactly what happens. And it's all based off verifying transactions. And instead of using wire systems and banks, you can put everything on a blockchain, which is basically a digital verification system. Basically, think about it. You have these computers all over around the world, and basically these computers are manned by people, but actually they're just solving these very complex mathematical equations. And when enough computers solve them, they're put on a blockchain. And the verification process is basically the security to know that this is a transaction that's confirmed. The public key and the private key of that digital currency matches, meaning I'm able, as the owner of that crypto, to then pass it to Carol or someone else, and then all of that information gets captured on a blockchain, so there's no question that that transaction happened. You can't deny it because it's on a blockchain. If you had to question it, you'd have to go and reverse all the millions and millions of transactions that happened before and after it to recreate it, which is impossible. So people really enjoy blockchain. IBM, Google, Apple, everyone's getting involved in this technology, and that's the future.
People are, but there's a lot of people that are excited about it, but they're weary of it. They're, because it's new. Something new is sometimes something scary to certain people. But that's why you're here. You're here to obviously educate them, not just in this area, but many areas. When we come back, I'd like to talk about some of the real estate that they can do with their IRAs and things like that. What would you want to leave them with before we go to a break for your, with what you would want to talk about for right now?
Yeah, basically that there's tons of great investment options, whether cryptocurrency is for you or not important. It's important to know what your options are. As a retirement account holder, the IRS is giving you enormous amounts of power. They're giving you a golden ticket. It's our job to cash it in. So I want to help educate people about the benefits of using retirement money to invest in what you know and understand.
Well, you can get the book at Amazon.com, but he's going to give everyone that calls in the book. So, again, you can call here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. all of your information is on your website. You can go there. You got all 7 of the books are there as well. Again, he's all about educating you. You can go on YouTube. You can go anywhere and see his podcast. He wants you to because he wants to educate you. His website is IRAFinancialGroup.com. They do free consultations with everyone. That number toll free, it's 800-472-0646, or call in here and get the book at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We're also live on Facebook, so I want everybody out there. You also can call in and you can also get the book as well. So when we come back, we're going to talk further. It's been great talking to you, and I can't wait to talk about more further when you come back.
Thanks.
If I traded it all, if I gave it.
So welcome back, and we're talking with Adam Bergman, and we've been talking a little bit about, different things that people could do with their IRAs that they don't realize, and you're all about education. I know we have our lines open here for everyone to get your book, How to Use Retirement Funds to Purchase Cryptocurrencies in a Nutshell. And you can get the book on Amazon, but he wants you to call in here. He's going to give everyone the book. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out on his website. Everybody loves to do that kind of thing too. It's IRAFinancialGroup.com. You'll see all the information there. He's got other books that he's written, all sorts of videos. He's all about educating everybody. So before we went to a break, I was telling you that I wanted to talk about certain things, and one of them was, real estate. And we have a lot of investors that listen to this, station because of the kind of station it is. A lot of investors out there. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and Arizona was obviously hit pretty hard in the recession in '08. So the flip side of that is there's a lot of investment opportunities afterwards, and a lot of my clients took advantage of that, and they did really well over the last 7 or 8 years purchasing real estate in the state of Arizona as well as throughout the country. So I wanted to come here and share that with you. Basically, the whole play with using your retirement money to buy real estate is twofold. Number one, you get to invest in what you know and understand. A lot of people feel more comfortable buying a hard asset like real estate or like land, whether it's residential, commercial, with their retirement money versus Wall Street. A lot of people don't understand why stocks go up or down or how mutual funds work or ETFs and all the fees involved. And people get confused and a little bit weary. But they feel comfortable if they can purchase a house in their community or the house next door. They can wake up every morning and see that house, touch it, whether the dollar goes up or down, whether there's inflation or whatever. Some people, not all, and again, I'm not telling anyone what to do with their money, just here kind of sharing stories of what people are doing with their retirement money. Real estate is probably the most popular asset for our client base because people feel comfortable with it. They like the cash flow, whether it's rental. Some people like to flip homes, and they feel really confident in doing that. Others want to buy a property, a vacation home on the beach, or do an Airbnb and get the cash flow, or even buy a piece of property outside the United States. You can do all that with a retirement account. So number one, obviously, people want to buy what they trust. Number two, the tax play. When you buy real estate with personal funds, you pay tax, whether it's capital gains, short-term under 12 months, which is treated as ordinary income, or long-term capital gains if you hold it over 12 months. Now, you do get some benefits of deductions versus depreciation and the like, but if you do it in a retirement account, you defer the tax. So if you buy a house for $150,000, sell it for $300,000, all tax-free back to your IRA. If you had it in a Roth, remember, you never pay tax again, so long as you've opened that Roth at least 5 years and you don't pull the money out until you're 59 and a half. So now you get to do all kinds of really, really exciting tax strategies where you can basically generate tax-free income stream, whether through the rental income or tax-free growth through sales. So real estate is just such a popular asset class because people trust it. They like the fact that it's a hard asset. It's becoming so mainstream. 15 years ago or so, real estate was an alternative asset. People didn't have the confidence they do today with it. But since the '08 recession, people have done really well with the comeback in real estate prices, and people just feel very comfortable that their retirement account is in something they understand and something tangible and a hard asset.
Well, I also think that people are seeing that it's probably the best, one of the number one financial things to have in your portfolio, because it's number one, especially here in Arizona. I mean, yes, we had the crash, but even now, even though the prices have gone up a little bit, I mean, having rental property is long term.
Yeah, and it's a diversification play. You know, a lot of people say, "Hey, I got money in the stock market, whether it's personal savings or other IRA, other 401k. Let me take just a sliver of my retirement money and maybe let me do a hard money loan. Let me buy a small piece of land or a small condo or a small residential home, or do a joint venture with a brother or sister." Remember, anyone that's non-disqualified. Could be anyone other than a parent, child, spouse, daughter-in-law, son-in-law. So you can joint venture with a neighbor, a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin. You got a lot of great opportunities to do some joint venturing. You can joint IRA invest with family members. So you can take your IRA and your spouse's IRA, combine them to buy the house. You just can't mix personal and retirement money. So there's great strategies that you can employ to really benefit from your retirement account and invest in what you know and get the benefit of tax deferral or tax-free growth in the case of a Roth IRA.
Now, I know you've written so many books, and do each one of your books kind of relate to your topics that we talk about?
I try. I mean, I have a few books on the solo 401k. I have 2 books on the solo 401k, 2 books on the self-directed IRA, 1 book about using cryptos. I have another book, How to Use Retirement Money to Buy a Business, which is the third category of investment opportunities that people are doing because of the Trump tax plan. So after the Trump tax plan, one of the big tax cuts is the corporate tax rate went from 35 to 21%. So there is a strategy if you want to use your retirement money to buy a business, let's say a Subway franchise or a pizza restaurant, something that you personally are going to be involved in. Remember, with an IRA, you can't do it because the disqualified person rules will prohibit you from doing so. However, like everything else, there's always exceptions in the tax code. And if you get enough smart lawyers to look at the provisions, you'll always find an exception. So there's an exception under 4975D13 that allows a 401k to buy what's called qualifying employer securities, which is C Corp stock. So basically, the whole idea was that back in the 70s when it was the provision was established was that if you worked at Ford or GE or IBM, Congress wanted you to be able to use your 401k to buy stock in the company you work for. So a bunch of attorneys said, hey, if it works for a public company, why can't it work for a startup? So that was the birth of what's called a ROBS, or rollover business startup solution, which basically simply means you take a new corporation, you establish a 401k, you roll your IRA into the 401k tax-free, 401k buys stock in the company, and now you can take that money and buy a Subway franchise and work in it, earn a salary, and not trigger a prohibited transaction. So that's the third big category that's really hot because now the C Corp tax rates are not 35%, they're 21%, which are much lower and more exciting.
It's amazing the information that you have. You're a plethora of information, but you are an expert in this field, and he loves to educate people. Today we're talking about we're talking about a lot of different trends that are happening in the market, but and how we can help people. But the book that we're giving away today is How to Use Your Retirement Funds to Purchase Cryptocurrency in a nutshell. And there's other books on the website that you can go up there and you can pick basically each book to fit whatever needs you're looking for. But we're going to give the book away here to everyone that's calling in. Our number here, 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Keep on calling throughout the rest of the show and get this book. Again, you could check him out on his website. It is IRA Financial Group.com. You do all of these free consultations. Again, you could call them direct. Their number toll free is 800-472-0646. Again, it is IRAFinancialGroup.com. You mentioned hard money lending. I mean, I know that's also a lot of people like to talk about that too. Is there anything more that you want to say about that?
It's a very popular investment because people want to get cash flow returns. And it's a great steady return because you're basically lending money, whether it's to a real estate developer or to a family member like a brother, sister, aunt, neighbor, cousin, and you're getting a steady rate of return, whether it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. As long as you stay under the usury laws, which are like the loan shark laws, as long as you stay under the state laws, you can do it. So you can help out a friend or even generate really good cash flow by lending it to a developer. You can protect yourself by taking a security interest in a piece of property or other asset that the borrower is is providing.
I know that you also written a book for the younger folks out there, and I thought you might want to talk about that before we go today.
Absolutely. It's called In God We Trust and Roth We Prosper, and it's really to help millennials understand the power of retirement saving, how even $1, $2, $3 a day, just take away one Starbucks cappuccino, $4.50 a day, you could have almost $1 million when you retire. It's really that simple, but you got to trust the process and you got to be consistent.
Well, you know what? He's all about educating, and I love that you have a book almost for every different area of your IRAs and the different things that you should have in your portfolio. Again, the number here to call for the book, How to Use Retirement Funds to Purchase Cryptocurrencies. In a nutshell, it's 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. What are your final words for everybody today?
Save, 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 save. No matter if you're doing traditional or alternative asset investments, I don't care. Put money away. You will benefit, and thank me when you're older.
You can start when you're 2, he said. You could put $2 away literally every single day, and you'll be a millionaire at the end of that. How long does it take to be a millionaire?
Well, you gotta let the money work for you. It's like you got to trust the process. The Philadelphia 76ers, maybe they did it for 4 or 5 years. You may do it for 40 or 50 years, but it's not a sacrifice. It's just a couple dollars a day. You'll watch that money grow, and you'll feel so happy. And you just need to cash in that golden lottery ticket. The IRS, Treasury, Congress have gave it to us. We need to just cash it in. And we all have the power to do it. Whether you're low, middle, upper class, we all have the same power. We need to take advantage of it.
Call us here and get this book, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And check him out on his website. It's IRAFinancialGroup.com.
Across that line.